Hello. I'm R. Haywood. I'm pretending to write a book. That's right. I'm a writer. I like to write.
Hello, hi, I'm R. Haywood, I'm Rich. Welcome to my interview. I thought I'd do a video interview to try and answer all the questions that have been sent in to me. I get asked questions all the time on Facebook and Twitter and email and all kind of places about when the next book is out, TV and movie things, and about my writing processes and all kinds of questions. So I just thought I'd do one interview and try and answer as many as I can. But this really isn't my comfort zone, so please don't expect anything fantastic, because it's not going to be. It's going to be nothing.
Got to stop waffling on, dear.
Waffling on?
They want to know when the next book is out. He doesn't have waffle on, doesn't he? And his head is so shiny from up here.
Oi.
No point rubbing it, dear. It's not going to grow back, is it?
Told you it'd be bad. Yeah. Anyway, blimey. So, when is the next book out? The next book out will be the World Ship Humility Book 2. But I can't say what it's called because the cover hasn't been revealed yet.
At the side, dearie.
The power of television. Anyway, so that's the next book that's out. That was due out in about a year ago, actually. But the virus kicked in. Publishing schedules have been knocked all over the place for everybody this year. So Colin Morgan just couldn't get into the studio to narrate it because of the virus and the pandemic and all the restrictions. And of course, he had to catch up on his filming schedule as well. So I think he's in the studio now, and that should be released at the end of December 2020, and it'll be out 4 months later on ebook and paperback. So that's the next book that's probably going to come out. I'm also working on The Undead 25. That's a big storyline. It's a very complex storyline. So I'm writing that. I don't know when that will be out, and I'm also writing new material at the same time as writing The Undead, and I'll explain why later on. And then I always get asked about Extracted Book 4. Extracted! There will be a Book 4. I was hoping to get to it a lot sooner, but again, because of the virus, publishing schedules have just gone nuts, and I'll just get to it when I can. I've got a story in mind for it that I want to do, and I'll develop that as soon as I can. And I guess the last one I get asked about is A Town Called Discovery. That was written 3 years ago. It just got edited to death. I rewrote it like 6 times. I got sick of it, shelved it. 3 years later, the virus has kicked in. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to release it. So I popped it out, and it's been fantastic. What a result! Bestseller again. Woo! Thank you so much if you've read and reviewed it. That's really very kind of you. And I will do a second book on that, book 2, simply because of the popularity. But again, it's just a matter of when I can get to do it. So there we go. That's the order at the moment. World Ship Humility Book 2, the next Undead, new material, which I think is the best thing I've written so far. Fingers crossed. Hopefully it does well when I finally get to getting it towards an audience. Extracted Book 4, and a sequel to A Town Called Discovery. So that is when the next books are out. Thank you.
See, you don't half waffle on. You could have said all that in half the time. Cough, blimey.
Hi, hello. Okie dokie, that's all the book questions answered.
Hello! We got a question from Hayley Jones on the Facebook.
Are you asking the questions then?
Well, it looks that way, doesn't it, dearie? Anyway, Hayley from the Facebook says...
It's not the Facebook, it's just Facebook.
No, it ought to, isn't it? So Hayley says, first of all, I just want to say I'm a massive fan and I love everything you've written. And I can't wait for anything new. She can't wait for anything new. My question is there any chance of your books being made into a TV series or a film? She wants to know if anything's been made for the telly.
Got it. Okay.
For the telly. What's been made?
Okay, I've got it.
Don't snap at me, you bald twat.
Jesus, right. Okay, so I'll try and keep this brief.
He won't. He'll waffle on for ages.
Off. Right. Blimey. Okay. So TV and movie stuff. Yes. Extracted is the first one. Extracted. That was optioned a few years ago by a really well-known, very established media company in Hollywood. They wanted to make it into a TV series, but now they want to turn it into a movie. They've developed a script. They've got a script. So that's going. Every step has been positive with Extracted. Hopefully one day that will happen. But of course the virus has slowed everything up. Same with everything else. But fingers crossed, one day we'll see Extracted on the big screen. A town called Discovery. That also has had a lot of interest from production companies and producers. Been really lucky at that, and I think it's because it's quite weird and refreshing and unique, and it's very different. But yeah, it's got a load of attention. We had a scriptwriter called Barnett who contacted me. He's developed it into a treatment for a TV series, and he's then spoken to a production company in LA. I've spoken to them. They're really interested. They're good. They've got another production company on board. Between them, they're going to develop it into a TV series, and that's what they're trying to do now. But yeah, we're very excited. So, yes, very excited. So that's Extracted and a town called Discovery. Worldship Humility. I've also just had a recent phone conversation with a development executive who previously developed some of the world's biggest movie franchises a few years ago. He's interested in the Worldship Humility and turning it into a movie. But we only have one phone call, but we'll see. Hopefully something will happen on that. So that just leaves The Undead. Now that's a little bit different for me, The Undead, because I'd never sell that to someone else to make, not in the same sense of all the other material, where someone else would buy the rights and then develop it as they wanted to. With The Undead, if that was ever going to get done, I'd make that myself. We got quite close actually. I wrote a TV treatment outline for it, what it would look like as a TV series. I wrote up the first 2 seasons with, I think it was 8 to 10 episodes per season, hour-long episodes. And I had to adapt it from an existing series. So for instance, you wouldn't be able to follow the exact format of just following Howie around for the first few days. So episode 1 of the TV series would show Howie, Paula and Grigori, and then we'd follow those 3 through their journeys independently. So that's how the TV series would look, if it ever got that far. I wrote it up as a TV treatment, as an outline. I got some producers on board. We were looking at it. We got quite close. It was all really, really exciting. And then unfortunately, Brexit.
Don't mention Brexit, dear. It won't go well.
You're right. Don't mention Brexit. Politics is a dirty word. I'm not expressing a political view. It's just that Brexit kicked in, and it made a lot of people scared, I think, in the film industry in the UK, because we lost a lot of EU funding around that time. People didn't know what was going to happen. That was the biggest reason why The Undead got stopped in its tracks at that time. But there you go, that's just, it happened. And then obviously the virus kicked in, so everything just keeps getting pushed back and pushed back. So for The Undead, I'll look at it again when I can. I mentioned before about there's a reason why I'm writing new material, and again that's because if I'm ever going to develop The Undead into a TV series, I want to be at the helm of that. I want to be the one producing it and making it. So my idea is to make a pilot, is to fund that and make a pilot myself. But that means I need money. Money for me comes from writing books. So that's why I'm pausing at the moment. I'm writing The Undead 25. I'm still doing it, but I'm writing new material. I try and sell it to gain funds. So the longer term projects of developing the Undead into a TV series, that money will hopefully go towards that. So that's why the Undead book series has slowed up a little bit, because I need to write new material to be able to fund those different projects.
But yes, there we go. Hopefully one day we will see something of mine on the screen. And of course we've got the new material as well. So I can only hope that that goes somewhere as well. But yeah, every project so far seems to have got interest. Fingers crossed.
Oh, he wants to make a pilot, does he? Thinks he's a director, does he? Bit delusional if you ask me. But well, there we go. And he doesn't half waffle on. But anyway, Hayley, there we go, my love. I hope that answers your question, Hayley from the Faith.